Hi guys, thanks for joining me and welcome to this week's episode of Saint of the Week. So this week's saint is someone who's really important in my life. He's the patron saint of the church where I was baptised, where I grew in my knowledge of faith, where I was an altar server, and where I really started to develop a relationship with God. And that saint is St Wulstan. So Wulstan was born in around the year 1008, so over 1,000 years ago. He was a really well-educated man. He became a prior and then he became a monk, and eventually he became Bishop of Worcester in 1062. After the Norman conquest in 1066, he was one of the few bishops who retained his title as bishop and who was allowed to continue being a bishop. The Normans brought in a lot of their own bishops, but Wulstan was viewed as very important and very well liked and was allowed to keep his role. And he was heavily involved in the building of lots of new churches and also in the redesign and rebuilding of Worcester Cathedral. Wulstan is remembered very strongly for his care for the poor, for his devotion to charity and to serving those who were less fortunate than himself, and particularly for his anti-slavery views. And he was very heavily involved in trying to prevent slavery and in some of the successful efforts around the time to stop people being slaves. There are loads of really cool stories attached to Wulstan. He is said to have completed many great feats. In one example, a man fell from a great height, and as he fell, Wulstan blessed the air. The man landed and got back to his feet and continued to live his life. In another story, Wulstan prayed by the bedside of a terminally ill monk, and the monk regained health and consciousness. And my favourite story is that he was once challenged to a fight by a man, and Wulstan knew that the man was the devil. And upon winning the fight, the man turned into smoke and disappeared because he was the devil. Wulstan died in 1095 and is buried at Worcester Cathedral. He is remembered, as I said, for being incredibly charitable and for being a really important figure in the early church in this country. He was quickly viewed as a saint by local people, and eventually he was raised to the level of saint in the 1200s. So Wulstan is someone who today is remembered as a man who lived a very holy life, as someone who believed passionately in others being treated equally, in serving the poor and trying to work towards a more just society. And I think that's something that we can all attempt to live out in our lives today. So I hope that for you, just as for me, Wulstan is someone who inspires you to try and live a more equal and fair life. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.